Hey friends, it's Sarah from Gilkey's Limited Adventures, and it's bright and early on a Saturday morning in the beginning of December, and I always love to make Christmas cookies in the beginning of December on a nice snowy day. We already have 12 inches of snow from last weekend, and we're getting another 3 to 6 today, so it's a perfect day to be in the house where it's nice and warm making Christmas cookies. I am happy and bright-eyed this morning. Come back after 6 batches of Christmas cookies and we'll see how I feel, but I'm excited to start these. And don't worry, we'll have William come in and taste test them in between.
We're going to start out with a new to me cookie, but these were so cute that I just had to try them. These are swirl cookies. So you ever see those cute cookie trays that have like the red and green or red and white swirls on them? They look so cute to me, so I'm going to try it out. Now I started the day using my stand mixer, but I'm going to switch to a bowl because my butter's kind of firm and this thing can't quite take firm butter, and I didn't think it was a very good view for you guys to see what I was making. So don't worry, I'm going to switch to a bowl right after this cookie. But this was a pretty easy dough. It was butter and sugar and vanilla. All of the recipes are going to be in the description, so if you guys want the recipes, just check the description for those. Now I added the flour and started mixing this. I usually, when I use my hand mixer, I mix all of my doughs by hand once I put in the flour. So that's what I did for this one too, because I'm not here to break any mixer with such a stiff dough. So this one I actually have to split in two because I'm gonna color one of them. I'm gonna make red and white swirl cookies. So this needs to chill. I just wrapped it up in a little bit of saran wrap and put that in the fridge, and now I'm going to dye the other one with some red food coloring so it's nice and bright and it makes these cookies so fun. I actually think that next time if I made them, I think I would make it peppermint flavor, and I think I would put cocoa in the white section. So then it'd be kind of like chocolate peppermint. I think that would be really good. For these cookies, I made them almond flavor because my husband loves that flavor, and I thought it'd be a nice change to all the other Christmas cookies that I was doing. So normally I roll everything out with a little bit of flour with my rolling pin, but we don't want any of that white flour residue on these cookies, so I just put it between 2 pieces of wax paper. I think parchment paper would work just fine too. And all I'm trying to do is roll them out into kind of the same sizes, trying to make it a square, but that was difficult. This is chilled dough and it is stiff. Now once it was rolled out, I just put the white on top of the red, and that is the key. If you're gonna make these, white on top of the red works best. I did it red on top of the white, and those didn't turn out quite as cute, and you'll see that in a minute. Now once you put it on top, then you're just gonna roll it a little bit thinner using your rolling pin, and it kind of helps squish those two together. And then we're just gonna roll it up into kind of a long tube. This is what's going to give it that great swirl. And some recipes I've seen, they'll cut off the ends and they'll make it completely square and perfect, but I don't care because I'm just going to eat those ends. Anything that doesn't turn out in my kitchen, we just eat as we bake. Now I just kept rolling till it was nice and firm, and then the last step is we need to roll this in something fun. If you were doing peppermint, you could definitely roll these in some peppermint candy pieces, or you could roll it into some brown jimmies or those little sprinkles, but I'm using these like crunchy little nonpareils, or they're just like the little balls, the little sprinkle balls. And it worked out perfectly because they gave each cookie a nice little crunch, and they were super cute. Now we're going to wrap this back up and put it back in the fridge for another 30 minutes. So you'll see as I'm cooking, you may see other cookies laying around. It's because I did these all together. While one was chilling, I was making another. Now when you slice these, look how cute they turned out. I think if you were having a Halloween party like a Jack Skellington Nightmare Before Christmas or something, that would be perfect. But these turned out so cute. I would say the thinner the better. I did some a little bit thick and they turned out not quite as well. And you can tell the difference from where the red was on the outside or the white was on the outside, but they're all super cute. I would totally make these again. They are so much fun, and let's see what my husband thinks.
Oh, somebody must have knocked me in the head last night. My eyes are swirly.
He's a goofball, but let's get on to our second one, and I'm gonna do a traditional thumbprint cookie, and these are one of our family and friends' favorite. Every time I have a tray with cookies, these are one of the ones I get the most compliments on. They're just so delicious, and depending on the fruit you put in it, they can be tart or sweet. The sky's the limit. You can make them your own, but we're gonna make just this traditional dough with butter and sugar and flour. My key to it though is add a little bit of cream until you get the perfect consistency, because if your dough is too dry, then your cookies are going to crack. So I just add more cream until it's the perfect consistency. And then I'm just going to use my smallest scoop. I think this is about a 1-inch scoop, and scoop these out. You can definitely just scoop out 1-inch balls and roll them in your hands, whatever's easiest for you, and then line your tray with them. Now the next thing is we need to put the thumbprints in them. Of course you could use your thumb, but I like to use this little measuring spoon, and I spray a little bit of Pam on it so it doesn't stick to the dough. I just put a little dip in each one of these. We're going to put them in the oven for just about 10 minutes or so, and then we're going to pull them out. They're not done yet. We need to push that little spoon in them again, make sure that divot is deep in there, and then we're going to fill them with our jellies. And again, the sky's the limit. Use whatever you want. I have a cherry jelly here. This one is so good, and it had little pieces of cherries in it. And then I also used this fig jelly. This was just very sweet. It wasn't overpowering, but it was just a nice sweet flavor. And then I also used an orange marmalade because that is my favorite flavor. I've used raspberry in the past, and that one is so delicious too because it's nice and tart. And then we're going to add some white chocolate on top of these, and that smooths it out and makes it sweet. We're going to put these back in the oven for about 4 or 5 minutes. And then once they come out, the jelly has just enough time in that oven to kind of warm up and flatten out. And you can see how nice they are when we bring them out. If yours aren't perfectly round like mine, mine are a little misshapen, don't worry. We're going to add some white chocolate to them, and they're going to look really cute. I use these white Ghirardelli melting wafers. They're really good. They melt very nicely. You can see here I just melted them in the bowl. Just do it exactly like the package says. Now you can use a spoon and just drizzle that on top if you want to, but my favorite way is to put it in a baggie. These are my homemade piping bags. I just use a baggie, cut a little hole in it, and then I just like to do a zigzag on top of each of them. They just turn out super cute, and you can do them so much faster. I'll speed this up so you can see how cute they turned out once they were done. It doesn't matter if they weren't quite round because that just makes them ultra cute. And now we are on to Christmas cookie number 3, and we're going to make some what a lot of people call Christmas crack. I know it as pine bark. Some people call it cracker candy. Anyway, this is the candy that you make with saltine crackers, and it is so easy. There's no dough involved, and that's my favorite part. It's just butter and brown sugar and saltine crackers and some chocolate. So I always put a lot of foil on a pan, spray it with a lot of non-stick cooking spray so it doesn't stick, and then we're going to line our saltines up on here. Now, you have to make sure the whole pan is covered in saltines. One sleeve for me didn't quite do it. I had to open another sleeve just for 2 more crackers, but that was fine because we want to make sure it's completely covered. And then I just boiled my brown sugar and butter, and you have to boil it to exactly the amount of minutes on the recipe because this is going to turn into a toffee, but if you underboil it, it's not going to get toffee consistency. It's going to be more of a caramel. So we want to make sure that you boil it like this, like a really bubbly boil for the exact amount on the recipe. And the same thing when you put it in the oven because it needs that certain amount of time and temperature to form just the right consistency. And we're going to try our best to get this on every cracker. Now it is going to smooth out a little bit in the oven, but you want to try your best to get it on every cracker. I did take my wooden spoon and kind of spread it out a little, but don't waste a lot of time doing that because you got to keep this up to temperature. You want to do this quickly and get this back in the oven. It's at 400 degrees, and I'll give you a little peek in the middle of the cooking time, and you can see it starts to cover every cracker, and it is literally just like boiling in there. That's why you have to be very, very careful when cooking these so you don't burn them.
You have to be super precise with this one because you can burn it in an instant. You leave it in for 1 extra minute and you can totally burn it. But I'm going to put the chocolate on top of here next. I'm just going to use some chocolate chips. And the heat of these things is going to melt it. While I do this, I'm going to tell you a story about this morning. Remember I said I'm all bright-eyed and chipper and ready to go, and we'll see how I am after a few cookies? Well, here's the story. Okay, we're just gonna let these sit and start to melt. I placed an order for Walmart delivery last night, knowing that I was out of a few baking supplies, like no chocolate chips, I needed molasses, like some very integral things in order to make all of the cookies I was gonna make today. And I thought, oh, it's perfect. I'll have delivery between 7 and 9. By the time I start baking, I'll have everything I need. Well, then 9 o'clock came around. I still didn't have everything, but I had started making some doughs knowing that my stuff was on its way. And I got a message, your order's delayed. And I was like, oh no, because I need some things. So I just made a few cookies that I could that I didn't need. And then I got another message, order delayed. And then it was turning to be about 11 o'clock and I needed that order. So William called Walmart and they said, oh, we're sorry. Someone didn't show up, so it's not going to be delivered, but you can come pick it up if you want. Okay, so turn off the oven, wrap up everything. We go, get partway to Walmart, and I get a message, your order's been delivered. Well, like, what? Okay, so then we turn around and we come home, and you know what they delivered? A bag of dog food. None of my items, we don't even have a dog, and there's a bag of dog food with my name on it, with my little tag on it. So we go back to Walmart, let them know, nothing they can do about it. Sorry about this, got a refund for the order, but then I had to shop for everything. And it wasn't a ton of items, but it's Saturday at 1 o'clock at Walmart. It was packed with people. That is the fiasco of my day so far. So I know I told you that I'd be like, oh, I'll let you know how I'm doing after so many hours. So the chocolate is just getting melted enough. I'm gonna start spreading it around. So yes, I was frustrated. I was super frustrated. And William's like, what can I do to help? I can call them. And he was very helpful to call them. And there's like, what are you going to do? When I went there and talked to people, none of the people I talked to were the people who made the mistake that caused this. So, there's no reason to be angry with any of them because they didn't do anything. The only thing you can do is laugh about it. So for each person I talked to tell the story, I said, well, I have a story that's really funny, but it's not that funny, but it's kind of funny. Because what are you going to do? It happened. Did I really want to go out in the cold and stop the middle of my baking and do all that? No, but I had to do it if I wanted the stuff. So I got my stuff. So anyway, I have the recipe. It's called pine bark. It's like a candy. I don't know if someone thought it looked like a pine tree. I'm not sure. I've heard people call it Christmas crack or saltine candy. There's a lot of names for it. But to me, if you time everything right, you do it just like the recipe, it's very easy. And it's so delicious. It's like a salty toffee with chocolate on top. Basically, it's just the saltines with some toffee, and then you put the chocolate on, and that's it. And I like to break mine, if I can, along the saltines instead of all little pieces that are messy. But we'll see how it breaks. It really depends on what it wants to do. Since it's Christmas, I'm gonna add some sprinkles to it while it's still wet, just to make it look pretty. And I got these snowflake sprinkles. We're gonna add those. Oh yeah, that's pretty. I'm gonna bring you down closer so you can see what it looks like when I put these sprinkles on, but thanks for hanging out with me, listening to my story. Now we have a few more cookies to go. I'll let you know how I'm doing at the end.
This is the really fun part because you could put anything on here. I love to do sprinkles. You could do green and red. You could do nuts. You could do toffee. You could do pecans. The sky's the limit when you decorate these. You can even leave them plain chocolate. Now we're on to cookie number 4, and I'm gonna make chewy ginger cookies. My husband loves gingerbread. He loves that flavor, but I didn't want to spend the time making gingerbread, and I didn't really want to have those crunchy gingerbread cookies. I wanted something a little bit different, so we're gonna make some chewy ginger cookies. The other thing is, we don't always love that allspice flavor, so I'm going to alter the recipe a little bit, and I'm just going to use ginger and cinnamon and molasses. These turned out so good. They were a little crunchy on the outside, but really soft and chewy on the inside. I would definitely recommend these if you like gingerbread flavor. Again, I know I'm throwing all the ingredients in really fast, but they will all be in the description if you want to make any of these cookies. And then you can just come back to the video if you need any technique tips. These worked so good. These were probably one of the quickest and easiest cookies of the day. I used it's not my medium scoop, but it's not the small 1-inch scoop. It's right between. I have a lot of cookie scoops, thankfully. And I just scooped these out and put them in. They were literally one of the easiest cookies of the day. See how they get that nice crackle on top? Perfect. Now we are on to cookie number 5, and I'm going to make another one of my husband's favorite peanut butter blossoms. These are those really nice, crunchy, chewy peanut butter cookies with the Hershey's Kiss on top that everyone loves. I think it's a perfect one for kids and adults. Everybody loves these cookies. And this is a really easy dough to make too. And what I like about this one is it's nice and soft. Sometimes I feel like when you have a dry, crumbly dough, it's a little bit harder to work with. But the peanut butter on this one makes it nice and soft and easy to work with. I would love to hear any of your favorite Christmas cookies. I'm always looking for new ones every year. I like to make my favorite traditional ones and then just a few new ones every year, because who knows, maybe my all-time favorite is out there somewhere and I just don't know it yet. So drop me a comment if you have a favorite Christmas cookie that maybe I haven't made here, or maybe I haven't even heard of. Now again, with a little scoop, I think these might have been 1-inch balls, and then I scooped them into some sugar and then just rolled them around. And what's great with this soft dough is you don't have to be perfect, because once they spread out, they become perfect circles. I don't know how that magic happens in the oven, but it does. Each one just gets a little coating of sugar, and then we'll pop these in the oven. And look at what I mean. They are perfect little circles, and they have that nice crackle on top. Immediately, as soon as they come out of the oven, you're going to put a Hershey's Kiss on here, because they need to start to melt so they adhere to that cookie. Then you're going to leave them on this cookie sheet for about a minute or so, and then transfer them to a cooling rack. These take a little longer to cool than any other cookie, because that Hershey's Kiss gets real melty, and you don't want to bump it, because you want it to keep its nice shape. Now we are on to number 6, the last cookie of the day, and we're going to make my all-time favorite, which is the original Toffee bars. That's a Betty Crocker recipe that I've been making forever. It's probably one of the first Christmas cookies I learned to make as a kid, because it's so easy. It's literally brown sugar, butter, an egg yolk, some vanilla, and then a little bit of salt and some flour. It's so easy, and you press these into a pan so it's like a cookie bar, but literally they have been my favorite. Even this year when I made this recipe and tasted it, I'm like, oh, it feels like Christmas when I have one of these cookies. It takes me right back to my childhood. This is a very, very crumbly dough. You can see you cannot even hardly stir this dough together, and it's fine. You can leave it crumbly, because watch what we're going to do. We're going to spray this pan with some nonstick cooking spray. We're just going to put those crumbles right in there. There's no need to keep working with it until you get it perfect, because we're just going to press those crumbles right into the bottom of this baking dish. And you can use a spoon, you can use your hands, whatever you like to do. One thing I like to do is take the back of a spoon or a spatula and just kind of rough up the surface, because when it comes out of the oven, that's what's going to help hold your chocolate to this cookie. We're going to pop that in the oven. About 28 minutes later, it's going to come out, and it's nice and brown on the edges. This is an easy one too. We're just going to dump these chocolate chips on top and let them sit here for about 5 or 8 minutes, and the heat from that cookie is going to melt the chocolate. I love easy cookies, especially when they are delicious, and one of my favorites. And we're going to come in here with an offset spatula. Is a great thing to have in your kitchen if you don't have one for just for things like this or cakes or anything. But you could use just a regular spoon or spatula. And we're just going to spread all of these melted chocolate chips all over this. It's so easy. It just takes minutes. Then we're going to take some Heath bits. You could also do nuts or you could do sprinkles. I think my mom has done like just fun holiday sprinkles in the past. I like Heath the best because it gives it that nice buttery crunch. And that's it. That's the whole recipe for these. They are so, so easy. I like to tap it down a little bit just to make sure everything sticks to the chocolate too. That's my little hack for these. Now I'm going to show you an overview of all the cookies I made. This was a long process, but it was fun. I love baking in the beginning of December. It's one of my favorite things to do. You can see some of those have a few taste tests out of them. But we're going to bring in William and he's going to try some of these. But stay tuned till the end because I'm going to pack these up and show how nice and easy and wonderful it is to give homemade gifts for Christmas, especially when they're yummy cookies.
I'm almost done. And update on the missing groceries. Somebody put it out on our city community Facebook page that they found the groceries, but I didn't see it until I'm almost done here. And I just said, Walmart refunded me. Hey, if you want to make a bunch of cookies, go ahead and enjoy those groceries.
Like I told Sarah, it's a nice life when all of your problems are really just first world problems.
Yeah.
We're not doing too bad.
Yeah, so I'm doing pretty good. My feet hurt. I'm ready to sit down after baking these. It ended up being 7 because I made these like little white gingerbread things with that leftover white chocolate. They're tasty. I don't know if they are that cute, but they're tasty. So, okay, we got Mr. Gilkey here. He's gonna taste test something. What would you like to try?
I'm probably going to go for that ginger cookie. That's probably my favorite.
They are a little bit spicy.
All right. Oh, they look beautiful.
Yeah, they're supposed to be like a crackle top. What do they look like? Still cooling a little bit. I thought they were a little overly spicy. I tried one.
They're very soft, but they got a nice crunch. Then the first thing that hits me is that molasses.
Okay.
Just a little bit of spice to me. That's not bad at all. I really like that.
They're supposed to be like a chewy cookie.
It is
so
chewy.
Like, yeah, instead of just like a hard gingerbread man, I wanted to have something that's a little chewier.
That's fantastic. I'm gonna give that 2 thumbs up. Way up.
You want to try something else while you're here?
Yeah, I'll take a bite while I'm here.
This one is okay. Let's show the difference. Beautiful. And this is the end. So, you know, at home, we always eat the ends first and we give the good ones to our company, right?
So I got the donut one. Okay.
Oh, that one sounds a little crunchy maybe because it was the end piece.
It's a nice crisp cookie would be good with tea or coffee. You get that real kind of almond taste, strong almond taste. To me, reminiscent of marzipan candy, like that much almond taste.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, it's very pretty, especially these that are perfect. Wow.
I'm gonna take one that wasn't quite the end, but still looks kind of funny, and I'm just gonna break it because.
Yeah, that's a good cookie.
Oh yeah, this is not crunchy.
These are 2 that she's never made, to my knowledge, at least at Christmas. I've never seen that you made them.
It's like a little crisp on the bottom and chewy. Okay. I was nervous when you took a bite; it was real crunchy, but no, these are good. That's a good texture. Like it? About all I'm gonna eat. Too many cookies.
Yeah, I should only probably try one more. That's it.
What would you like? Oh, I know what. This favorite peanut butter blossom.
Yeah, these are my OG
This
favorites.
just came out of the oven, so the chocolate is probably melty, but
I'm not sure I'll be able to taste this with just one. I might need another. Still warm. Peanut butter for days.
Good.
And sugar. I always eat around the chocolate.
I do too, and then I put the whole bite in at
Yeah.
the end.
Wow, that's really good. That's more than 2 thumbs up.
I already tried the jelly ones because one was kind of half broken and they're delicious like usual. That's one of my favorite Christmas cookies. I have not tried this Christmas crack, they call it. I've always known it as pine bark, but let me get that.
I knew it was like a mock toffee.
Oh, mock toffee, that's a good name for it.
Something like that. I think I'm going to cut myself off right now.
Okay, that's fine.
This.
This is, I'll just share a little piece. This is not quite set. The chocolate is still melted, but here's what it looks like. I'm going to try to make them square because I don't really love the pointy, like this, but that's okay. They're not quite ready yet.
We had a church friend one time that just loved these. Like she'd make them for every little get together. Remember that?
I do love these. It's the butter that hits you right away. It's like a crunchy toffee and a salty cracker.
Without that hardness of a toffee.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
I mean, I'm smiling on the inside if I'm not smiling on the outside of it. These are very good. Wow.
I have a few more to bake, and then I am done, and it is 4:20, so I'll probably be done by 5. I started early in the morning, but that's okay. We had a little bit of a mishap. But...
A lot of mishap.
Thanks for coming along with us on this marathon baking day. Let me know if you want to try any of these recipes. They will be in the description below. But let me know if you've tried any or what your favorite Christmas cookies are, because to this time I made 2 new ones, and I'm always looking for something new. Next year, though, this is the end of the baking for this year.
Okay, it's the next day. Everything is nice and dry and ready to pack up. Now, we'd like to give a few cookies away as gifts, and then I like to have some around the house for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and then when we have guests over. So I pack them all up separately. And one of the things I like to do is use saran wrap and then some aluminum foil, because that will help keep them fresh, but also help keep them in place. So you can see once you have that, the cookies won't shift around. Here's a nice tray that I'm going to serve for Christmas when we have guests over. Again, I'm going to wrap it in saran wrap and then wrap it in some aluminum foil, and that'll keep it nice and fresh in the freezer. And we're going to pull these out in a few weeks anyway, so they won't be there very long. Here's a little plate that I'm going to take to a Christmas program. And again, we're going to just wrap it with the saran wrap and the aluminum foil. And then we have a couple little tins that we're going to give as gifts. Look at how cute these turned out. And here's the last little festive plate I took to church the next morning. If you have any questions, drop me a comment. But thanks so much for watching and have a Merry Christmas.